Aries, I'm gonna tell you something you do not want to hear. Yep, see, look how much trouble I am having with this shuffling. Do not make a move. Do not make a move yet. Okay, I flipped these over. I never flip these over this early. I usually leave them face down. But that one wanted to be shown right away. Sorry, there's something that wants to be shown before you make this move. Ooh, I almost wanted to flip it over just like I did with these, but I stopped myself that time. Right, so stop yourself from making a move. There's something that wants to be seen before you make this move. And I know that's for you fire signs, for you Aries, that's something hard to do, right? Because your skill points, you have a lot of them in fire. And fire means movement. We started with fire, cool. Fire means movement, right? Even if a fire is still in a candle, fire doesn't stop moving. It's moving all the time. That is our soul, right? That's what eternity means. Movement. No stagnancy. Right? Like there really is no death. There is just life, right? There is just fire. There is just movement. So there's something that wants to be seen before you make a move. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is like the higher selves, our higher selves that can see situations from a different perspective, from a more whole perspective. If life is a line, right, we are the dot that travels along the line. The Hierophant is up here, and he has a whole view of the whole line. So the Hierophant can teach us a lot of things because he can see things that we cannot see. There's something we cannot see that this Hierophant can see. And so if we cannot see, well, we are open to learning from this Hierophant who can see and can show us something new. New is always better. Page of Wands. The page is the, I guess you would say the child of the suit, right? Seeing things from new, seeing things with fresh eyes, like children do, right? Adults have their ways, and they already have their perspective made, and it's hard for a lot of them to change their ways, their perspective, right? But kids don't have one. They are seeing everything new with wonder and amazement, and that is the page. For me, the court cards make a circle, right? It goes from the page to the knight to the queen to the king, and then it goes back to the page. And the page that began the circle is a different page than the one that ends it. So there's a page that has the wisdom of all of the other court cards as well, but decided to stay a page because it was the most fun to see the world with amazement and wonder instead of misery and adult stuff. Right? That's the mistake adults make, is they lose their wonder and amazement that children have. But how cool is it to keep that wonder and amazement, even with all of these other skills that we have collected throughout our years? And that is the Hierophant seeing things from a different perspective. Aloneness. And the aloneness is kind of facing the Page of Wands. Aloneness, number 9. More major arcana. There's a lot of major arcana. This feels like a major arcana as well. Like life is halting things, slowing things down so that you can see something. Aloneness. This could be the slowing down, right? This guy seems like he walks pretty slow. Life wants you to see things from a different perspective. Change. Change the perspective. Okay. That's hilarious. And the crazy thing is also another major arcana. 9, 10. That's pretty cool. So there's progress. There is movement. Wow. 2, 5, 9, 10. That's pretty cool. Page of Wands, traveling, embodying it while we're learning this from the Hierophant is alone up there, huh? Right? We are alone, but we can hook up and hang out with our guardian angel. I don't know how, but I know it's possible. Change. I think this is the Wheel of Fortune card. So this is, night turns to day, and then day will eventually turn to night again. But then that night will eventually turn into day again, right? You're going to go through some good times, and then you're going to go through some bad times, and then you're going to go through some good times again, and then you'll go through some bad times. So whatever times you've been going through, it's going to change. So if you've been going through some bad times, you expect some good times up here soon. If you've been having some good times, we'll expect some bad times. And enjoy these bad times, because that's where we train, we level up, we get experience points so you can keep leveling up and keep learning new things. Can't learn if there are no problems, right? In school, they give us problems for us to solve. That's how we learn. So life does the same. Life gives you problems for you to solve so you can learn new ways, new things. Aloneness. I think I want to read this aloneness. There's a reason for this aloneness. Trying to say something. When there is no significant other in our lives, we can either be lonely or enjoy the freedom that solitude brings. When we find no support among others for our deeply felt truths, we can either feel isolated and bitter or celebrate the fact that our vision is strong enough even to survive the powerful human need for the approval of family, friends, or colleagues. If you are facing such a situation now, be aware of how you are choosing to view your aloneness and take responsibility for the choice you have made. The humble figure in this card glows with the light that emanates from within. One of Gautama Buddha's most significant contributions to the spiritual life of humankind was to insist to his disciples, be a light unto yourself. Create your own love. Ultimately, each of us must develop within ourselves the capacity to make our way through the darkness without any companions, maps, or guide. Yeah, everybody, this is a one-player game, right? Everybody, when they die, they're going to go alone. So you better know how to, tackle life alone. Because you will eventually have to. And it doesn't mean you're going to be alone forever, but there is a transition period where you will be alone for a bit. Transition period. Change. This feels like this Page of Wands is going through a cool new adventure. This guy is also going through a new adventure. An adventure within. Prince of Discs. Okay. And lust. Okay, it's gonna take some strength, some courage. It's gonna take time. Harvesting, training, experience, right? Like in Pokemon, you gotta train up your Pokemon. So you battle with wild Pokemon in the grass so that you can get more experience and level up and get stronger. So imagine life is the same kind of way. The older you get, the more experience, the more points you can get and put into all of these cool little traits, characteristics. Where do you want to focus your life? Lust. I want to read the lust. Another major arcana. There's a lot of major arcana. So the minor arcana cards are things that we are in control over, things we do over and over and over again until we get it right. And then the major arcana are when we finally get that one thing right. Life grabs us, picks us up, and takes us to a new place, a new adventure, a new game, something new to learn. And then we're doing it over and over again because we're humans and we don't do things right the first time. It takes us a bit of practice, right? So yeah, that's the practice is the minor arcana cards. The major arcana cards are life transitioning us into a new game, into a new perspective, a new way of doing things, something new to do. I don't know, a new way of life, whatever. Whatever it is, but it's going to be new and it's going to be scary. And you will have to the transition is alone, right? But then when you're in the minor arcana cards, you're back with your fellow people. But the major arcana cards are the singular lonely adventures. Not lonely, but alone adventures, right? Pause before making a decision. I'm going to say it again. And we wanted to read this major arcana card, right? From the Thoth Tarot, from Understanding Aleister Crowley. So, I went straight. I passed it. I saw it. I saw the lust card right away. Now I'm lost. And now I'm here. Okay, I thought it was it, but it wasn't. Interesting, that pause, right? This is the Soul Rose Uranus Exalted. Hebrew letter Teth, which means serpent. Okay, this is what I wanted to read. I like this, what they say. This is Harris to Crowley. She says, well, you must understand the feeling of it. Now, how do you feel if you see nice chocolates and there you get them and how good they taste? That is a picture of how you feel about those chocolates. This is a picture of how you feel about those chocolates. How good it feels, how good it tastes, that energy you get when you're eating them. And that is how in an exhibition of her paintings, Lady Harris explained the lust card to an inquisitive child. The principal deities connected with this card are those who, by tradition, are associated with the power of the female to arouse, harness, and direct the animal nature. Demeter and Astarte, born by lions, Venus, repressing the volcanic fire, Babylon the Great, and the beast of the Book of the Revelation. Lust is perhaps the most beautiful and provocative of the entire deck, and one of the trumps that exemplifies Crowley's visionary and initiatory experiences, and chronicled in The Vision and the Voice. The supreme spiritual message of this card may be summed up something like this. Eventually, each of us will come to a level of consciousness so profoundly high that the only level higher is the universal consciousness of deity itself. Our dissolution into the infinite is the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate marriage. Deity lusts for that moment when all her children will return to her. Someday, each one of us will also lust for that moment. It takes great lust and great courage to cross the abyss. these two. And we're going backwards now. Meditate. Like these two homies. Whoa. Why did my phone shift so much? I'm having so much trouble with this. I just taped up a little thing to hold the phone up here, and the tape is is not taping much anymore, and I can't get it. Can't get it right. I can't get it perfect, but that's one thing I need to do. This is my meditate card. And I mean whatever meditation you find comfortable. The whole point of meditating is, another word for meditating is lock in, right? What do people do when they lock in while playing video games? Well, you quiet your mind and you focus on the task that you are doing. And all of those guided meditations, I mean, that's not the point. That what they're trying to get you to is to a place to where you are quiet your mind, and whenever it talks, you don't automatically respond. You kind of just watch, and then you watch how you react to what is being said, and then you apply to that reaction, and then you'll watch again, because there's probably going to be a reaction to that reply. And it's kind of you and your body talking back and forth, your mind and your body talking back and forth, right? If you're feeling a thought, and then it leads to a feeling, and then which leads to another thought, which leads to another feeling. And then when you get to a point to where you're kind of just riding the flow, and that's where you want to be. Nice. Yes, have fun, huh? The change. This time to see life in a more fun, realistic way. Because life is fun. This is my all work and no play make Michael a dull boy, right? Yeah, be full of wonder. Nice. Weren't we just talking about that? Do things that get you excited, that used to get your child self excited. Create, man, explore, have a good time while you are here. Spark that fun in yourself again. It is time. That's probably the thing that most wants to be heard before you make that decision. Yeah, I think I've said what I need to be said. Well, thank you so much for being here, Aries. I hope something helped. If it did, please help me as well by liking this video, commenting, subscribe. If you want to keep hanging out, I wouldn't mind having more friends. So subscribe and keep hanging out. I hope to see you in the next one, Aries. Goodbye.